All right. Gather around, children. We're going live and got 11 people in the building. And I guess just like the jokes write themselves, I guess the week writes itself. So I guess it's esoteric week since, I did reacted to Pimp God's video about the anima and animus and emotional intelligence. And then May came on. Um, Talking about demonstrating how to communicate with women. So I was talking to my PhD advisor, shout out to Dr. Tia Johnson, PhD motherfucker. He uh he said I should continue in this vein. D. Scott said that a lot of my esoteric videos were actually on private, so I had to go through them and actually put them and make them into public. So I did that, and I was actually running across some of my old videos I haven't even seen in years, and I did like 7 years ago, and this is one of them, communicating with women. So I decided I'm going to actually react to one of my own videos, communicating with women, kind of do a refresh on something esoteric series I actually did like years ago. That was actually my original intention when I came onto YouTube, not to do the gender war thing or the political thing, but to do the esoteric thing because that's what I was actually interested in. But like anything else, you got to read the room, and just like um, a seller has to react to the market, a teacher has to react to his students. What do your students need? You know, what do people need that they're not getting? So I adjusted myself to the needs of the folks that were in front of me because I could have talked esoteric stuff and got really deep into it, but that's not what was needed. So we got into basic male-female relationships. We got into current news and current political and environmental stuff. So that's what we got into, which which is takes away from my original intent. But since it's esoteric week and probably this video probably should be on Patreon and not in the publics. But what the hell? So like I said, the week writes itself. Just like people wanted the octane, so I basically did octanes for almost a whole week. And I did AI for damn near a whole week, so I guess we actually react to what comes up. So this seems to be esoteric week this week. So today it's going to be communicating with women, and then I think tomorrow I'll actually review my video on the 5 things I would tell my son about women, which is mostly esoteric. It's really not bashing or anything like that. It's not really a gender war thing. What's up, Ash? I'm gonna greet everybody before I get started. And before we get started, I want everybody to remember, okay, this is something that everybody in the manosphere should remember.
I'm done. I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Okay, I always remember that you are Jermaine, and it's always your fault. Okay. Anyhow, let's get started. Wear blue, love red. Okay, you finished the report. Is the only thing should be coming out of your mouth when interacting with women. That's interacting with women at work. What's up, AB Media? D. Scott, Mr. Shigu. Oh, you enjoyed it. It seems to be. It seems people got something out of it. It was a task for me, but it was just housekeeping for me. Dave, too. What's up? Okay, yeah, yeah. I didn't realize they were actually locked. So emotional coffee. AL, what's up, man? Hope you're working. Knight, what's up? Eddie, what's happening? Scorpion Black, what's going on? I'm listening, and as always, what's happening? Dwayne, Prince, what's happening? Cool Gamer, what's going on? GRD Outfitters, what's happening? Hadn't seen you in a while. Artistic Males, AM, what's up? Wally Moore, what's going on? Shannon, what's happening? MS Delta, thank you for the support yesterday. I didn't get a chance to thank you. I'm listening. What's happening? Let's see. Trail, what's happening? Ash, what's going on? Let's see. The toxic masculinity, what's going on? Uh, see, Prince, I think I already welcomed you. Wanna be Mystic, what's happening? Hey, you are a mystic, okay? Lawrence, what's happening? Craig, how about the Supreme Court? We'll get to. I might have to do that in a pre-recorded. But I've been telling people about that for a while. Like 2 years ago, I've been telling them they were after affirmative action. You got abortion. You're going to go after no fault divorce. All those 60s and 70s policies they're going after. So it is what it is. Y'all want to go back to the good old days. All you millennials and you Z's, y'all want to go back to the good old days? I guess the good old days are gonna come back and haunt you. You don't want it, they'll get rid of it. Let's see. Wesley, what's happening? Brahms, what's going on? Little Rock, what's going on? Anubis, Allen. Oh, favorite Philly Uber driver. Okay. Timothy, what's happening? Pragmatic, what's going on, man? You're on time. Leon, what's happening? Okay, cool, Leon. Indigo, what's happening? Gray Fox and Andre is the last one. Okay, let's get started. All right, since we keeping the flow, this is communicating with women, and it's in the same vein as Dr. Johnson said I should keep the flow going since I actually did it and demonstrated it. So now it's time to explain it. So we're going to make an attempt to explain the communications styles between women and men. So let's get started with this because I found this. A while back, and so it was kind of funny, but it fits. So I was able to go back into my Twitter and find this. So here we go.
Still not giving me an answer.
I just gave you the answer. Why do women get so defensive?
All right, give me a one if you guys can hear this. I want to make sure y'all can hear this. Give me a one if you can hear it. Put a one if okay, you can hear it. Cool. All right.
When they're called out on
because
something?
You don't want to be honest, you don't want to deal with the truth, you don't want to change.
We
what?
just don't want to deal with it.
Exactly. Why? Why is that an issue?
Because we kind of want to do what we want to do, and we don't see you guys. Men complain about things that are just sometimes just why are you upset about it? You do. And I feel
because
like
there's something wrong.
For me,
and the only way to communicate and fix things is to address it. I don't
like to be told
and deal with it and fix it.
I don't like to be told that I'm wrong. I don't like to be told when I'm wrong.
That's established.
I get agitated when I find out that I'm wrong about something. Okay, I get agitated, and that's why I guess I get defensive because I just want to do what I want to do. And no, it's not always right, but I just want to do what I want to do. And when you call me out, it makes me defensive because I don't even understand why you would be calling me out. It's not that serious.
All right. Hilarious. Okay, but thing
Still
is,
not
hilarious, but thing is that is in essence, in a nutshell, how women think about things, right? They want to point out when you're wrong. Okay. They want to call you out when you're wrong, but they don't want to be called out when they're wrong, which is the essence of sign language, right? Shame, insults, guilt, and need to be right. Okay. Which used to be shame, guilt, and need to be right. Okay, it's internal. Okay, but they project that stuff outward because that's how they're feeling, and the need to be right covers up their internal insecurities. So if you understand where sign language actually came from, and I came up with that back in 2007 when I had a conversation with Iyanla Van Zant, and shame and guilt are the two biggest precursors, right? That women feel. They don't want to be shamed. They don't want to feel guilty, and they have the need to be right to cover all that up. They want to be seen in a certain light, and she just demonstrated that. You heard May do it for like 2 hours, right? Like an hour and a half. You heard her do it for like an hour and a half. Okay, she didn't want to be wrong. She wanted to judge. She wanted to judge you and tell you when you were wrong. But when she got called out on it, guess what? She got agitated. It's really what it was, which really was the whole essence of it. She didn't want to admit that. She said we're over talking and all that, which is bullshit. And when you guys were going in on her in the chat or calling her out, it agitated her. It pissed her off because women want to be seen in a certain light. So women do not like to be wrong. They don't like to be judged. They don't like to be shamed. Okay. But they'll project it on you. The reason they'll project it on you is because that's how they they elevate their status and how they appear. That's like they can wag the finger at you and call you dusty and call you incels and stuff like that. When you flip it, they don't like it, right? Like when she talked about my penis. Okay, it was just a joke to her, right? Really wasn't a joke. It was shaming. Okay, but it's okay if she shames me, and it's nothing to her if she shames me. But if I flipped it back on her, she can't take it, right? She said it. She even said it. It's one thing for them to shame and them to actually put us down. It's one thing, but when to come back, it's more injurious. And that woman just did it and talked about it in a nutshell. Like when they do it to us, it's like, okay, I don't understand what you're upset about. It's like, why? It's like, why are you getting upset about something that I said, even though I'm wrong? It's no big deal. Okay. But when you call them out on it, then they get agitated, right? What did she say yesterday? She was agitated. I wasn't angry. I wasn't yelling. I was just agitated. Bullshit, baby, but it's okay. Um, so I am going to, no, it's female behavior. It's not pathetic. It's not pathetic. It's female behavior. All females do it. Black women are just the worst at it. Black women are actually more aggressive at it. With white women, it's passive aggressive. It's called image defense. Yeah, image defense program. You ain't shit. You ain't shit, Art. No, she doesn't have a mental disorder. This is very common. The thing is, most black women feel that way, but May is most honest about it. She doesn't have a mental problem. She's very typical. She's extremely typical. Okay, that's why it was important to actually point it out. That's why I took my time with her. But since we're up against the clock and Gigi's going to go right after me, okay, Green Gorilla's going to go right after me. I don't want to impede too much on his program, so I'm going to get right to it. We're going to get down to business. If we need to talk about it, we can do it tomorrow. Extended. If I got time toward the end of the hour, I will actually bring people up for a minute. But like I said, Green Gorilla's going after me. I think Dr. Johnson's going after him. So we got a full slate today. So I don't have time to dilly dally. Probably should have started this earlier. But the thing is that we went 3 hours with May yesterday. So I don't think um, I got the energy to actually do that again today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and share this. And we're going to react to my video. I did this 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago. And I had forgotten about it. All right. Communicating with women. Okay. Back in, there's no date. It says 7 years ago. I don't know what date I did this. But It was actually originally on my MGTOW channel, Black Gnostic Speech channel. So give me a one here.
To manifest.
You can hear it. Give me a one. All right. All right. Here we go. And this segment right here is from the from a Kabbalah site. Okay, this is Jewish mysticism, and he's a teacher. And this is where this is coming from. So it's not. This is not. He's not talking about black women. Okay, he's talking about Jewish women in this instance.
Manifest your light, to manifest your ability, and especially if you see something in the woman that you don't like, that you want to be changed. Here is the number one rule: you cannot change her. You cannot criticize, and you're never allowed to complain. The worst short circuit a man can do is to criticize or complain. That's the worst. Why? Because immediately when you criticize or complain, you become a vessel. You're looking to receive something. You're no longer the light. Your soul actually disconnects completely from your body, and you're totally disconnected from the light. That's why it never works. It doesn't not work because the woman's not listening. It doesn't not work because you're not playing your role. You're disconnected from your true position in this world. The Creator made you as a force of light. That's why men, excuse me for saying this, it's totally a stereotype, but just see if it's true for yourself. Men probably enjoy sleeping around more than women. Now, that's not my opinion, okay? I'm just putting it out there. If it's true for you, let's go with it, okay? Why? Because they want to give. They want to give their energy. Of course, they're giving it in a very short-circuit way. They're just looking for whoever will take it. But it's easier for a man. They don't think about it so much. Women are more based on emotion. The man just wants to look for a vessel to share with. So what is our job as men? We need to understand one thing. Whenever we complain, especially in a relationship, we're disconnected. The woman will not understand what you're saying. They don't get it. They don't hear it. You can complain and
what did she just say? When you complain, she doesn't get it, right? What did she just say? He's saying the exact same thing that she said, right? You get the connection. I'm not saying he's completely right, because I will bash, okay? I don't care if you get it. Okay. You're gonna get this work today. Okay. That's how I feel. So what I'm saying is there's a connection between what he's saying and what she just said. Okay. The method might be different, but thing is the effect is the same.
criticize from here to forever, but they'll never change. And it's not their fault. They don't understand your language. You know, there's a Far Side comic I love to talk about. It's like, you know, there's a man talking to a dog, and he's screaming at the dog, and he's like educating the dog, you know, because he made a mistake on the carpet. And he said, Scruffy, that was wrong of you. You know, you shouldn't have done it. And he's like talking to him like in a verbose language, like articulating himself. You shouldn't have done this. Don't you know it's wrong? I just bought this carpet from the store. And he's talking to the dog, and they're showing in the comic how he's talking to the dog. Then they show the point of view of the dog hearing it. So what does the dog hear? The dog hears blah, 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 Scruffy. Blah, 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 Scruffy. Blah, blah. That's all the dog hears. And that's the same thing in a relationship. If you're not playing your role, which is communicating in a giving way, all the women will hear is blah, 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 Janet. Blah, 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 Linda. Blah, that's all they hear. They cannot hear what you're saying. It's like when you speak into the phone and it comes out muffled the other end. And the only way a woman will take it is just that she's not good enough. That's all she'll take from that.
In other words, when we criticize, when they listen to us, right? They listen to Black management, which they're not supposed to be listening to us, right? And we're criticizing. Sometimes negative, sometimes constructive. This is what they hear. What do they say? You just hate women. Okay? You just don't like us. We're not good enough. Blah, blah, blah. That's what he's saying, right? What do you hear women say when they listen to the Black manosphere? The same thing, right? Communication style. Very important. This actually should be on Patreon. I'm giving y'all a gift today because trust and believe it should be on the $20 Patreon, right? Because this is esoteric and this is very deep. And I'm giving away the store today. So anyhow.
She's not good enough. She gets broken down as a vessel, and your light has nowhere to be revealed. And you become unsuccessful. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. We cannot change anyone, especially the opposite sex.
Hello, my Micto brothers, back again. And the clip that you just saw was from a series that I put up years ago from the Kabbalah Center on having lasting love. And in that clip, the speaker was talking about communicating with women and how women take criticism and communication. I was reminded of this clip by a question from a subscriber. And then just today, I was reading a Red Pill blog by Vox Day called Alpha Game Plan. And he had a post called Female Communication. And it was written by what I believe to be a university professor in a STEM field who's supposed to be very logical. She's saying the same thing that this Kabbalah teacher was saying, how differently women view the world than men, and how their communication styles are not only different, but also how their feelings are involved, even in something that could be logical, and how they take criticism a lot differently than men do. So basically, she was a checkbox for everything that was said in that video and everything I've been saying in my esoteric series. And something that I reiterated when I did the post 5 things about women, exactly the same, right down the list. And this, in fact, the 5 things I would say about women will be coming tomorrow. Okay, I'll be reviewing that one tomorrow to kind of finish up the week. So stay tuned. This is coming from an independent source, from a ostensibly logical woman that's in a STEM field. And she not only admits, but she confirms exactly what I've been saying and what this teacher was saying. So I'm going to play an audio transcription of the post that was written to Alpha Game Plan, Mr. Vox. I'm going to give you a listen, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about, what I've been trying to tell you about women and how they view the world. Just to show this esoteric philosophy is not bullshit.
Men versus Women 101, Handling Criticism. Most non-gamma men take constructive criticism well. My husband, for instance, will send something to a friend or colleague for assessment, and when his work gets eviscerated, he's very congenial about it and appreciates that this person took the time to identify errors and save him from embarrassment. For him, it's a kindness. Women, on the other hand, respond to criticism very differently. Here's an example. I'm in an ongoing argument with a colleague about a scientific theory. It's an argument he initiated, but it's objectively helpful, because I'm attempting to write up a detailed treatment, and I want it to be free of errors. In our latest exchange, he sent me a long-winded critique of my math wherein he concluded that I've made some errors that completely undermine the whole proposition. He's a nice, sympathetic man who just wants to understand how it all works, but when I read this criticism, I got extremely irritated. For the first moment after I skimmed his critique, I hated his guts, even though, if I truly made those errors, he's just saved me a lot of public embarrassment.
See what I'm saying? They are, and these are not black women. These are white women, okay? These are educated white women saying this. Even the from the Kabbalah Center, those are rich white Jewish women. Those are not lower class black women. They're not even black women, right? But they're saying the same thing that May said. Same thing that the black woman said in the opening clip. Okay, see the connections. You see the connections.
Turns out he's the one who made a fundamental error in his critique, but it was still helpful. My explanation was far too telegraphic, which is what led to the misunderstanding. The lesson here? A woman will always, always, always take even benign, helpful criticism personally. Just remember that when you're dealing with women, either in your family or at work, and the more helpful you try to be, the worse you'll make it. What really made me hate his guts with a burning intensity wasn't that he pointed out what he thought were errors, but that he spent 37 pages of equations and graphs expounding on it. If he just said, "You goofed on the integral in equation 3 inches," and left it to me to ask follow-up questions, I would have just been mildly irritated. But all those pages and pages were like he was saying, "This is how much of an idiot you are." So, here's my advice to you. If you are going to offer a woman criticism, keep it as terse as possible. Make her ask follow-up questions if she wants to know more. Why? Because, even when you are dealing with an ostensibly rational woman, she is undoubtedly either seething with irritation or completely devastated over something you probably didn't intend at all. I bet as this guy was writing up all 37 of those pages, he was thinking, boy, am I being helpful with all this detail. She'll really appreciate how much time I'm taking to carefully explain everything. Alas, that we women aren't so gracious as to default to that explanation, but that's just female nature. Save all that extra effort for the men in your lives who will understand it and appreciate it. Cheat it.
See, so there you have it. See, women see the world differently. You got to remember, women process the world through emotion first, okay? And they'll see they see criticism. All criticism is saying that she's not good enough. What did the guy from the Kabbalah Center say? What did he just say? What did he just say? You break the vessel, right? Criticism breaks the vessel. Especially women can actually take criticism from their girlfriends better, but from a man, the force of light, the light is too strong. It's going to break the vessel, right? According to them, and they're going to see it as criticism. They see, even if it's constructive, okay. They can logically they can see that even she said logically she can see that it was actually constructive, right? But emotionally, when she processes the world, it's still criticism. And the more criticism you heap on her, you're saying that she's not good enough. What did he say? What did the woman say at the very beginning, right? We just why, okay? Just why? It's not that big a deal. Why are you criticizing me? Why are you breaking me down? Why are you saying that I'm not good enough? That's what's going on. That's what she's saying. That's what they feel. In fact, one of my subs said to me that I said, how come women can't take criticism? She said, because women do not like to be what? Judged, right? You can't tell a woman that's an obvious 5 that she's a 5. Why? Because you're doing what? Judging her. She can take it from her girlfriends, but from a man, she cannot stand to be what? Judged. That's like a woman say, "Oh, baby, you're beautiful. You're cute. You're sweet. You're a 10." Chick is a 3, but she cannot stand to be judged. And criticism is what? Judging, evaluating, right? And mostly women cannot handle that, or they handle it less. Okay, that's what they're saying. So communicating with women, that's like when I try to communicate with women, I try to not judge. I try to, like I said, I try to point out things and let them ask the questions. If you notice that with May, I didn't judge her. I laid out a fact and let her respond. And I asked her a question. How do you feel? How would you feel about that? Notice I very seldom asked what she thought. I asked her how she felt about it. How would she feel about it in the same position? And then she had to reflect upon it. And then that got her into her thinking. Okay. Then I asked her what she thought. Very different thing. I've always said that with men, it's not about feeling. It's about thinking first. Anyhow, let me continue.
Of it. As you can see from the post, even though the female writer is logical and objective, she's telling you that as objective and rational as she is, and even though she logically can see how helpful her colleague was to her, even though he went through a detailed explanation, she still could not override her feelings. So that tells you there's no such thing as a no Walt, period. No matter what they say, how they say it, how smart they are, what their IQ is, or whether they're a STEM chick or not a STEM chick, she has the same thought processes and feelings as the woman on welfare, the ghetto chick. So to deal with a woman on the job, in your home, in your bed, you have to be able to manage her feelings. Women feel the world. They don't think the world. That's what the red pill pickup artists are trying to tell you. Her feelings will always, always, always override her logic. And even the best game player is always going to trip up. You're going to say something or you're going to do something and she's going to misinterpret it. And she's going to wind up, guess what? Hating your guts, being horribly irritated, or feeling devastated and abused by a comment that you didn't even intend to even do that. It doesn't matter. Just like men cannot override their biology, women cannot override theirs. A woman's brain is wired for feelings first. Her logic only manages her feelings, but feelings are more pervasive than logic. Any human being will know that if you hate somebody, you hate them. And it doesn't matter how helpful or logical you think they are. If you hate them, you hate them. That's the same thing with women. That's why marriage for a long time, you could not just get divorced over feelings. And now you can. And this modern society allows women's feelings to overrule logic and common sense. And for my black brothers out there, MGTOW and not, The ones that we call educated lames and nerds, that's the reason that the bad boys, the thugs, and the Jodies and the Ray Ray and Pookies can get women when you can't, because they know how to, guess what? Manage a woman's feeling.
Manage a woman's feelings. And that was because the first thing that I have to talk about to most educated lames make a lot of money, very smart people, but they're very, very what they call left-brained, right? They're very left-brained, very logical, very, very concise, very to the point, very detailed, right? It has to make logical sense. It got to be logical proof to it, right? And that's why they fail with women, because women, that's not a female's language. First thing I tell you, you got to toss that out. You have to see it from her side. You got to put yourself in her shoes and think like she thinks. That's how come you have to develop your anima, right? Your anima is connected to your feelings and your emotions and the sensory which is the world of women. That's how come your anima can actually translate for you. That's why when you talk, when you actually listen to your mate, your girlfriend, your mother, your sister, okay, they're painting an emotional picture for you. And I've said that for years. That's why a woman uses 1,000 words, right? Because she's trying to paint an emotional picture. I said that in the 5 things about women. Okay, basically, uh, and it correlates with what the guy in Kabbalah said and what the woman said, right? I don't understand, right? I don't understand just why. How come you just can't let it go? How come it's such a big deal? Okay, it's about emotions. It's about feelings first. That's why I learned this from Carolyn May. She have to invoke, right? When guys that were feminist trained had to go through the feminist school, when they came up on my Coliseum, my platform, during my live streams, they come in with I feel, not throw that out. Don't invoke that. You're not a female. You're not a woman. Think. We think here. We're men. We're thinking black men. We think. Okay. So I don't want to hear the feel. Invoke. Well, nope. Toss that out. Hit that switch. You think. That triggers the masculine brain. That triggers the animus to think and process. Right. Even with May. And sometimes I feel not right now. I want to think. I want that thought. Even sometimes when she got aggressive, come out of that masculine, get into your feminine, and invoke the feeling. And she understood what I was saying, and she stopped. Okay, you have to talk in feeling language to females first, and then they process it, and then they will come to the logic. The logic will come afterwards, unless she's advanced. Now, advanced women can actually process logic because they've already meshed the animus. That's how come, whether you like her or not, reason Pearl can process logic because she's an athlete. She actually is in a male dominated realm where coaches criticize you all the time. You have to be able to accept the criticism, uh, uh, use the information, affect the process, and improve. Okay, you're forced to do it, right? So she was forced to get into her masculine, get into her logic. That's how come sometimes women, when they get into their logic early through athletics or something like that, they have to go through the process to reconnect with their emotions, with their feminine side, because they got locked into a male pattern. The patterns are different. The thing is, I'm trying to get guys to understand how do you communicate, because I solved this problem with my niece like 15 years ago. She's having problems with her husband. It's communication. And I was telling her that your communication style and his are different, and this is how you solve it. And she did it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She reported back that she had gotten solved. He hasn't talked about her husband since. That's 15 years ago. She learned the process, and she taught him the process, how to talk to her. And after that, as far as I know, they had very few problems and can actually solve it on a local level. I'll give you that game tomorrow if I think about it. Okay. Let me finish this, and then we're 34 minutes in. I'll open it up for like 10, 15 minutes in case you guys want to come up, and then we'll close out because Green Gorilla's probably going to have his going off in about 30 minutes. So
we try to manage a woman's feelings with logic and override it. You can't override her feelings, and neither can she. If her logic doesn't do it, you can't do it. So you can take a woman with a PhD, a woman in a STEM field, she will go for the bad boy because guess what? It's her feelings that override her logic. The original pickup artists called pimps, they already know that. They never, never, ever apply or appeal to a woman's logic. Their whole game, their dress, their cars, their language, their conversation all appeals to her feelings. This is just a quick note. I always like to put out practical examples of what I talk about in my philosophy when I can. And this is one I just couldn't resist. It was too juicy and too good and too right on time. So like always, comment, make another video. These are keys to dealing with women. So make use of them. Make use of them in your videos. Make use of them in your life. When you talk to your sisters, your coworkers, your mothers, your lovers, even your friends with benefits. If you know how to manage her feelings, you're one leg up on her. For as far as men are concerned, logic always rules feelings. And if you know how to manage hers using logic and using forethought, you can win the game. With that, I'm going to close out.
All right. Okay. Let's remove that. Stop sharing screen. I'm going to give a couple of thank yous. Termacat, thank you for the Cash App. D Main, thank you for the Cash App. Ash, thank you for the Cash App. Appreciate you guys. Basically, like I said, this probably should be on my esoteric series, so we actually get into it a lot longer, a little deeper. But this is it's in the same vein as what's going on this week, and May just brought it to head, and basically it's like an hour demonstration of what I was talking about. If you go back and listen to May, everything that was presented in these 3 videos basically May demonstrated. Okay. I ran a women's channel for almost 3 years, right? And it's on the only 2 requirements that I had. I wasn't going to judge them, no matter what she said. I said, and anything was open. The thing is, one, you got to be honest. The only thing I was going to judge you about is lying. Okay. If you're open and honest about how you feel and what you did, we can deal with it. If you lie, try to cover it up and have what the need to be right, you're going to get called out. So one thing I didn't allow, don't give me that female lying bullshit. That's what May tried. I want to hear it. I want to hear the truth. If we give them the truth, then we can actually break it apart and deal with it. And the second thing, right, but being honest, right, is investigate, open up yourself and investigate how you feel. And then we're going to get to the logic of and break that down in logical terms so you can actually look at it, which is what a male brain is supposed to be for. You're coming to me to actually break apart your feelings, break apart the scenario, and have you look at it. That's what it's for. That's why women want to talk to you, because after a certain amount of time, when she asks questions, you can break it apart and with your male brain, because that's what you do. You break things into segments and the partition, and you actually have her look at the picture in a way that she can't. That's the whole reason that women download on you. That's why I say get something for your emotional labor, right? Don't let her do it for free. Don't let her do it for free. I can't tell you how many guys that give a woman 10 minutes and they get pissed, right? Okay, I'll listen to you for 10 minutes. She'll download and you cut her off. She wait, you know, because she needs for you to actually, number one, receive it, okay, shine light on it and explain it to her. And sometimes that's just with she'll read your face, and sometimes she'll just read your body language, and sometimes she'll actually ask questions. But that's what you're there for. That's emotional labor. Go back to male emotional labor that I did last week, right, with the officer and a gentleman, right? How you demonstrate emotional labor to females, right? And females think that it's free, and it's not. Just like theirs is not free. Okay, if that's for them to actually perform emotional labor for you, you got to compensate them somehow. Even if it's sex, if it's money, if it's care, you have to give her something. She's not going to do it for free. She ain't going to sit down and talk to a bum on the street about his problem. She's not. Okay. She ain't. Most of them won't. Okay. They got to get something out of it. But women expect men to do it for free. I always say your emotional labor is not free. Get something for it. But we'll get into that another time. Anyhow, so it's 40 minutes in. Sound like the opposite of GFE. What is GFE? I have no. Yeah, emotional tampon. Exactly. Exactly. And that's labor. Let me talk. The let me talk stuff is basically, I hate that because that is feminist thinking, because they're teaching men how to be females. And a lot of when guys that say let me talk, they're not talking about logic. They're not. They're actually smashing 10 different points together because they're not talking about logic or a point. It's about how they feel. They get into their feeling brain. Oh, girlfriend experience. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You do have to pay for that. And a lot of guys pay a lot of money for that because their wives don't perform that labor. Yeah, she will. I said I put every woman, including my family, in my life on those last year. It may cut everyone off, but kept crying about being. Oh yeah, that's also millennial entitlement. That's feminist thinking. When you look at AI in Japan, men aren't even engaging with their westernized women. They are dating virtual women. It's bound to happen globally. It's already happening globally. What do you think the so-called incel revolution is, right? Those are MGTOWs, basically going monk or going mini monk. The juice is not worth the squeeze. I caught only bits and pieces, but seems like May was ganged up. I had May by herself, alone, for an hour and a half. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you a male? Are you a man? That's what I want to know about you, JG. Are you a man? Are you a man? JG, are you a man? Are you a man? Are you a man? Yeah, we slow walked there for 90 minutes. In fact, Toya said that was a master class. I've got a lot of applause about how patient I was with her. JG, I don't believe you're a man. I really don't. In fact, let me since we had the video, let's pull it up. Just for a few minutes. Okay, since we have a detractor in the house, let's go ahead and pull the bad boy up. Let's pull the bad boy up. Because some people come in with that bullshit. That's exactly why I pulled everybody down except me and her. Now, I pulled everybody down at the, what was it? At the 2 hour mark, 156. I spent almost 2 hours with her alone. Alone. Let me go ahead and pull it up first, real quick, right? Let me present, share screen. Okay. Let me hide that. Pull myself down here. Okay. Go ahead and enlarge that so you guys can see it. Okay. At 156, 154, 156, I pulled everybody down. You see how long that video is? 3:43. Almost 2 hours with her by herself. How is that ganging up? JG, how's that ganging up? No. I want an apology. I want an apology right now. I want a fucking apology right now. Let's play a little bit of it, right? Just a little bit. Let's go ahead and unmute it. You came up during a panel, okay? Not by yourself. Okay?
Yeah, I know. And I was going to wait. And I asked you, was it a better for another time? But you said go ahead and come up. So.
The time is now.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And let's do this, because one of the things that I've learned to do, I'm a good communicator. And one of the things I've learned to do is set some boundaries. Set boundaries and expectations. We always open up, when we're organizing and doing things, that's the best way to do it. So please tell me what you expect of me in the next couple of minutes, or how you want me to communicate.
One, to listen, and two, just like you can interrupt me and ask me a question. Okay. I know the millennial thing, how they train them is to run on and get everything out before somebody actually cuts in, right? The thing is, there's some certain things you say I want clarification so I can actually understand you. I'm not going to talk for, hold on. I'm not going to talk for 5 minutes. I'm just ask you a clarifying question. What does that mean?
Okay.
When you say something, okay?
Is it possible that you can let the clarification question happen at the end of a brief statement?
If it's brief, and if you don't compile like 7 different things in that statement. Okay.
All right.
If you take one point, stick to it, make your statement, and make that the only point, we can do that. If you're gonna have to actually compile like 7 different points in the middle of it, like you did in your last statement, we have like 5 or 6 different points. Okay, then we can't have a dialogue.
All right. Okay? So I will speak concise, and I will.
Does that sound reasonable to you, JG? Or does it sound like she was picked on? Does it sound like she was picked on? Really? Does it sound like she was picked on? Does it sound like I was reasonable with her? Anyhow, let me go ahead. We got like 15 minutes left. I'm gonna give you guys a chance to come up and comment, because I don't have time. I don't have the time today, because Dr. Gigi's getting ready to go. I don't want to impact his. Okay. So when you come, people wonder why I'm starting to blast people when they come in with bullshit. Okay. If you have complete information, then I can accept criticism. If you don't, okay, then I'm starting to get irritated. I'm starting to get, because I see this, man, because the whole thing about the table, man, it was 2 minutes, a 2-minute conversation with Marcus, keep it 100, right? 2 minutes turned into a 6-week dialogue, and they never really got to what I actually said. I'm gonna tell you, man, feminism will turn a lot of y'all into bitches. I'm just gonna say it just like that. Turn a lot of y'all into bitches. You're processing things through your feelings instead of through your logic. It's really starting to fuck with me. Okay. It really is. From men, I expect it from women. Women, I expect them to go off and misunderstand things and regurgitate things and process words to their feelings and stuff like that. It's irritating the fuck out of me to hear a man, a logical man, process shit through their goddamn feelings. It's really fucking with me. I'm gonna cuss about that. I'm gonna let that be done. Okay. Okay, because it's fucking with me, because I can't stand it. I'm an old dude. I came from a different era, and for a man to process words and a man's statements to his goddamn feelings, it's fucking with me. It really is. Okay. Like I said, expect it from women. That's who they are. But men, anyway, let me stop. Get off my Let me get off my goddamn soapbox before I go on a rant. I might do a rant later on about that shit because that's really fucking with me. Anyhow, there's the link if you guys want to come up. See if anybody. Carlos, appreciate you for the cash app. D. Carlo, appreciate you for the cash app. Mr. Heat, one of my favorites. Okay. Appreciate you, brother, man. You're very generous, man. I humbly appreciate every dollar you give me. So he's one of my best contributors, and I can't thank him enough. So
I appreciate what you do for the people. Anyway, my question is going to be brief, and then I'm out of here.
okay.
I admire what you do. And my question is essentially, how do you push past the bullshit? Because I think the communication thing for me is what's huge.
Okay.
I can't do it. I meet these women, they're great and everything, and then I get right to that point where the bullshit's right there, and I can't let it go. I can't.
Okay. Okay. The thing is, okay, it's called what do they call it? Not compassion. Okay. What is it when you put yourself in somebody else's shoes? What's the word for it?
Empathy.
Empathy.
I'm not
Exactly
gonna
right.
lie, I'm a more sympathetic man than I am empathetic, and I tell
Okay.
women,
Yeah, I know, but thing is, okay, whatever that's the breakthrough that you're gonna have to have. Okay.
I don't
You have to process the women like a pimp, right? You have to. Pimps are actually connected to their anima. They're born connected to the animal. They don't have that problem. You have to get in. It's not being feminine. It's get in touch with that side that you don't get in touch with, which is the feeling side, which is the anima, which is connected to the broader emotional world. Okay, you have to get into that, and your animal will translate for you. But the thing is, it takes patience. Okay, is that woman worth enough to you to actually exhibit patience towards her and empathy for her? Just like he was saying, right? You can't change her, right? So you have to be impatient, empathetic towards her, and you have to guide her into where you want her to go. Okay, if she's worth it, but thing is she worth it to you? That's the first thing you have to determine. How much is she worth? How much emotional labor is she worth towards for you? Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense to you.
No, it does. It honestly does make a lot of sense. I really do think through it and past that stuff. A lot of times it's not just one thing; it's a bunch of things. But trust me, when that bullshit, it's hard. It's literally hard to walk past that.
It's a lot of times you got to remember. Okay, she's not a man. Okay, and a lot of that bullshit she's throwing out is not about I know you because you've been around. I know you had lots of women, right?
Sure.
Okay, would they argue about shit that's all the way around the point they're trying to make? If that makes sense.
Yes.
And then you have to listen to all the other bullshit and the stories and all that kind of stuff to get to the point. Okay.
Like
Okay. In other words, instead of saying we're trying to get her to the point, said, okay, if she gives you a story, how you feel about that? Okay. Give you another story, how you feel about that? And she'll have to start expressing how she feels, right? That'll get into her thinking mind. And then after about maybe 5-10 minutes, if you got that much patience, then you can actually get to, okay, now baby, you felt this, you felt this. Okay, what's really the point you're trying to get at? And then she'll open up and say, oh my God, okay, yeah, you're right. And she has to get to the point. She has to get into her masculine mind or her thinking mind. But you have to go through the feeling first. You got to wade through that stuff. So you actually use the words feel, right? Okay. Well, this bitch at the work, man, she kind of blah, 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 blah. Okay, baby, how you feel about that? And she said, well, I felt like I was disrespected and blah, blah, blah. And she give you another story. Well, my male boss went and said, okay, baby, how you feel about that? Well, I don't feel valued at work anymore because they're like picking on me, right? And she gave me another story. But all three things that have in common is I felt devalued. I felt picked on. Okay. So you feel that you're picked on. Why do you think that you feel picked on? What are they saying to you that you feel picked on about? And that's the point she's trying to make. She's
yeah.
painting this whole picture to get to that point, how she feels about things, right? If she has to break apart her feelings and explain it to you, she'll start thinking. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not.
It really does. I mean, I listened to your conversation yesterday with May, and it
Hmm.
was aggravating as hell. because it
Yes.
reminds me of so much other conversations I've had before.
Right.
I don't know. You can push past it. You're an older man than I am, very patient. You have the experience, so you know the reason and purpose of doing it. I haven't
Yeah.
gotten
Well, but the thing is, she has to be. The reason I became a monk, I just told this to Dr. Johnson, is because the emotional labor to maintain a woman emotionally was too heavy for me. I said I can't do it anymore. You know, sex is important, but it's not. As an older man, it's not as important as my emotional stability. Okay, so I became a monk. Had nothing to do with liking women. I still love women. I still like sex. But the thing is, the juice was not worth the squeeze anymore. Okay. And to maintain a relationship with a woman is heavy, especially for a black man, because black men actually expect more from us than other women.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
I can't make it past a week with some of them. And the other day I made it past a month with one of them. One of my friends pointed out, because one of my friend's wives always tell me, you can't bring them around if they don't make it past a month.
That's true. That's true.
6 weeks we made it, and then on the 7th week had to let her go. And it's because she kept her real self from me. She knew the type of guy I was.
Yeah.
And she kept her real self from
me. And the mask dropped, huh?
Yep, slip.
Yeah. That's why if you evaluate a woman for long term, you have to meet her two things, right? Her Faye group, her 5 best friends, and her family.
So here's what's interesting about that. Now, we went out one time, and I think one of her friends FaceTimed her or something. So she answered the phone, and she said they were talking. Conversation was quick, and she said, "Oh, I'll never introduce her to this friend." And I started thinking to myself, "What kind of friend is this? She don't want me to introduce. I mean, she don't want to introduce to me."
Mm-hmm.
And it played out. Eventually, I met the girl, and holy shit, 2 different class and everything.
Yep.
But it told me a lot. That didn't work out, but I don't know, man. I'm trying, and you're right about them expecting a lot from us.
Yes.
I'm a very, very successful dude. Looks department, all the crap these women say.
Oh yeah. You check boxes. You check boxes. Yeah.
Check boxes and more. And it don't make it any easier. Let me put it that way. Make it. 92 guys like you are very difficult to actually find a mate for, because there's a combination of things. Women are a lot more simple, but 92 guys, what you guys want out of a woman can be kind of complicated. Yeah. Anyway, don't want to keep everybody. So again, thank you, and I'm upping your donation for having to deal with that woman yesterday.
That was really housekeeping. They have been following me for the last 6 weeks. I had to clean out some had to clean out some of these things. That's why I called her up. I had to confront her and actually get to the source of what's actually bothering her about me. So
I was pacing around my house screaming. Anyway, I'm out.
All right. I didn't think it would take that long, man. I thought it would be like 15, 20 minutes. She actually wanted a therapy session. That's what it turned out to be.
Yep. That's
for free. Yeah.
I'm out, sir.
All right. Appreciate you, man, as always. All right. Incognito, what's going on, man? See you in a minute.
All right. Not much. Just wanted to share light with everything you guys are talking about. I'm kind of in monk mode now, not necessarily
temporary, I hope.
Yeah, and it's not an intentional thing, just the way I'm kind of feeling about the whole dating landscape. I just had a situation. I was dating a young woman about 16 years younger than me, and it really wasn't dating. It was just hanging out, but I didn't move fast enough for her, I guess, in a sense. And she stopped wanting to be involved with me. Okay. And I feel the reason is because I wasn't in a rush to get sexual with her, you know? And
she's trying to shortcut the relationship. That's what it was.
And I guess she equated my interest in her with my ability to want to get physical with her. And you know,
what for men? What's the shortcut to intimacy? Is what? Sex.
Yeah, right.
And what's the easiest thing for a woman to actually give up?
Yeah,
Sex.
I agree. Right.
It's a long time to build your trust, clean your house, run errands for you, prove that she's a proper woman. Easiest way is through sex.
Right.
She's trying to shortcut the relationship. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I've had 2 instances in my life where I've been in temporary monk mode for about 6 months. One was more professionally related, just wanted to focus on myself, and then the other time was COVID. You know, so now I feel I really don't know when I'll come out of this mode, to be honest, because everything that's going on has really turned me off from a sense. Of course, I still, like you said, I love women, I love sex. I don't have any issues getting interest from women, but I feel I have a real hard problem really truly getting them to like me, like to like me as a person.
Y'all wanted them back. Y'all want, you wanted them back to horse trade. This is horse trading. Okay. They're back, but they want shit. Okay. Because they need shit. So they need you and they need men and they have to trade for something. Sex is the easiest way to actually trade for it. So that's what it is.
What I found too is that even when I'm getting sexual with them, they'd rather me choke the shit out of them than to make love to them. Like it's the weirdest dynamic. Like
that has, that is the moray that is and that's the Klingon coming out of them. Okay. That kind of black women are on a different level, man. They really are.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm trying to put stuff in play to go back to the continent, but all the paperwork with that, I'm finding that that's not as easy as I thought it would
no, it's
be.
not.
So
it's not.
I'm really at the point where I really got to beat it myself, because I'm past the point. I used to be a former, male hoe. I will admit to it, but it's like now that I need more for women, now that I want women to want me for more than just my physical attributes. It's like you can't get a deep connection with women these days, and that's being ratchet or professional. It doesn't matter what you're dealing with. It's like they don't have an appreciation for you trying to fully give of your true self. And now that I'm older, my peace is more important than anything, and I'm not going to jump into getting involved with a woman and then she's disrupting my peace, so it's like
that's gonna we're actually gonna do that one tomorrow about 5 things I always actually tell my son about women, about just what you're talking about. Okay, how to evaluate a woman and that kind of stuff. So
so
exactly
and honestly, that's a really good thing for the younger guys, because if I had all this knowledge, to say going straight into college, like including my ex-wife, I probably wouldn't have chose none of the women I seriously got involved with. Like
because you evaluate them for different things and not the things that you actually need. And sometimes, like I said, those are 2 different things. Sometimes, man, your mission and purpose should always come first. Should always come first. Sometimes it takes a while to actually know what your mission and purpose actually is. So you get married for the wrong reasons. That's what normally happens.
So I just had one question. As far as like monk mode, I'm not super religious. I believe in God, and I've been listening. Like I follow Dr. Thunder a lot too, and and he talks about things, and he was even speaking on, I think, celibacy earlier this morning. And it's not like I'm intentionally being celibate, but I'm kind of warming up to the idea, honestly, of not like just trading my energy with women. And unless a unicorn falls in my lap, which I really highly doubt, like, it's, I don't know. I honestly really might be celibate. Like, I don't, because
you got to find your balance. Got to find your balance. And we almost up against what Green Gorilla's video. So I want to kind of shorten it up.
Okay.
We can do this tomorrow if you're available.
Yeah, I'll definitely be around. But I appreciate the time.
No. I would be longer, except I'm bumping up against his time.
Okay. So, all right. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Incognito.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right. Bye. AB, real quick.
Yeah, that was a interesting conversation yesterday you had with May. Insightful. You know, she. Yes, that's how a lot of I saw a lot of black women in my life the way May was. May was what May was doing up on that channel. I wish I had came across this stuff maybe about literally 20 years ago when I was in my early 20s. It would have saved me a lot of heartache and pain.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to, kind of put this stuff out there so the younger guys can kind of get on game a little earlier. But it is what it is. I wish somebody had told me too. So
Yeah, it would have saved me a lot of heartache and pain. But sometimes you gotta learn the hard way.
yeah,
That's something I've learned over the years. Sometimes I wish I'd go back and say it like that. No, because then I would have never learned the lesson.
that you have to touch the hot stove. Okay, some people need to touch the hot stove.
Yeah, that's true. But that's really all I got. I'll step down if you need somebody else to come up.
No, nobody's coming up. I'm actually going to end it because Gigi's rolling right now. I'm going to put Gigi's link into the description because he's rolling. I want to impede on his time, and Dr.
Okay.
Johnson's right after him. So we'll actually pick up some of this tomorrow. So you'll probably have more time.
All right.
A lot of this stuff.
Peace out.
Go ahead. Peace out. A lot of stuff we can actually pick up tomorrow. Okay. Hey, we still got the baby mama going on. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Anyhow, y'all. Let me get out of here, man. I got a couple of people to thank before I go. Simon, thank you. Ernest, thank you. And D. Scott, thank you. John B, thank you. And Carlos, thank you. So with that, I'm gonna jump off of here. And Toya, as always, appreciate you, baby. You know I can't date you though, Toya. And I said I'm soup coolers are too much for me, sweetie. I can never date you. because the vision's going on in my mind. I said, nah, okay, I can't date her. Okay, I can't. I'm weak. I'm weak. All right, hit the likes on the way out and jump over to Green Gorilla. He's actually on doing a collab with Dennis Sperling. They're both in Houston, so it should be a pretty good show. So on that note, I want to punch the button and see you guys tomorrow. Peace.